If you guys are located here in Florida and you're dentists and you guys want to learn how to massively impact your net worth, you've got to come out to this event, May 12th.
Drop it. Drop it like it's hot. Isn't that a song too?
I didn't think I would ever do a fucking podcast. I didn't ever imagine doing that. It made me realize that my purpose is to help others reach the goals and reach their full capacity. And if I can impact somebody's life, that is bigger than money. That is bigger than anything else.
Welcome to Livestream, where we teach you how to stream your life. What's up, Jeremy? How you doing, my man?
What is up? Is it Friday?
It is Friday. You know that song?
Yes.
Isn't that song great?
I will not sing it. Don't worry.
All right. No, I didn't want you to sing. I just want you to do the dance.
You don't want me to do that either.
That song always gets me in a good mood, man. So what's going on?
Not a whole lot. I mean, it's been a really great week. You know, we really...
Aren't you excited about our event?
See? Dynamic duo. That's where I was going with that. Yeah, I mean, our May 12th event, we're really fired up about it. We really are kicking butt, getting it organized.
If you guys are located here in Florida and you're dentists and you guys want to learn how to massively impact your net worth, you've got to come out to this event, May 12th.
Drop it. Drop it like it's hot. Isn't that a song too?
And even if you just want to come and hang out with us, you're more than welcome to.
If you want to come out and hang out with these goofy guys, come on over. You know, we'll take care of you.
We're a lot funner than what you guys think.
So, yeah, I mean, it's been a great week. I mean, we really have attacked the marketing aspect of it. You know, Nick has been doing a great job, you know, helping us, you know, get organized and make sure the event's going to go off without any kind of curveball. And I think that kind of leads into what we want to talk about today. I mean, what happens when you get thrown a curveball? What do you do? What do you do as an entrepreneur? Maybe what do you do in life? What's your advice on that?
What I would recommend is, like, the first thing you got to do is do a self-evaluation or self-analysis of yourself. And you basically gotta rebound yourself. And I think the best way to do that is, instead of being focused on the problem, you got to focus on the solution. And you got to keep your mind busy. You got to keep your mind busy, whether it's, you know, a strong body equals a strong mind. So if you're focused on the gym, or you're focused on your diet, or you're focusing on your self-improvement, you're not going to have time to deter yourself from that vision. And that's going to help you keep on going.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that makes sense.
Do you put things on pause and you just forget about your vision? You might want to alter, reevaluate your vision, see if it aligns with what you still want. But at the end of the day, you still got to stay focused on the finish line. You just can't give up, because remember, time is money. And, you know, if you waste a week, 2 weeks trying to figure it out, how much time have you wasted? That is you're never going to get it back.
Yeah, I think that's interesting that you say that, because we talk a lot about investing in your organization and how do you get that ROI on that. And entrepreneurs get really frustrated when they don't see the value of the ROI on that investment. And we were just, you know, kind of off camera a little bit talking about, I know you want to talk about this, like investing in your team members. You know, that's kind of that's a curveball. That can be a curveball.
That's
right?
A huge curveball. I mean, you know, one of my biggest things that once happened to me early in the game was in 2015. You know, we were doing very, very well. We were working with this really, really good training facility or consulting group. I would say they're more training and coaching than consultants. And I mean, we were doing great. I mean, the first year we grew by 25%, year 2, 30 to 35%. Then I went all in and I invested a large amount of money. I mean, I'm talking about $180,000, which I couldn't afford. So I gave a down payment. I financed the rest because I believed in my team. I was like, these people are my ride or dies. We're gonna grow this. We're gonna blow up this company together. And I got hit with a huge curveball. I mean, 90% of the people didn't want to go to the trainings. They thought that it was not fun. It was stupid. It was a waste of money, a waste of time. You know, some of my partners didn't agree with it. And at the end of the day, I was like, what do? I just made this huge commitment, but I believed in the systems that we're going to incorporate. And I still thought that, I said, you know what, worst case scenario, everyone leaves me. I'm still going to have the knowledge of it. I had just invested $500,000 to graduate and become a dentist, and invested $450,000 into a practice, and then another $700,000 into another practice. what is $180,000 in the grand scheme of things if I'm going to get this knowledge? So I looked at it more like an educational expense rather than be soaking in my tears. And it was hard. I mean, I had 18 team members, 17, 18 team members, and I lost 5 of them within 4 months. 4 of them. 5 of them within 4 months.
They were key contributors in your
There
eyes,
were key.
right?
Some were lead dental assistants. Yeah. Some were office managers that were going to become regionals. Some were managers at my second location. I mean, some were hygienists. I mean, there was so much, growth opportunity for all these individuals. And now by me losing them, I was like, what do I do? I had just made this huge investment. They did all the trainings. Now they can take these trainings into another group. And the other doctor didn't pay anything for them, and I paid everything, and I made the sacrifice. So, it's very hard when you invest in people and you believe in people, and then at the end of the day, they leave you. But that is just part of the game. I mean, you got to understand that, but you cannot limit your growth because of what the other people are going to do, because if not, you're never going to do anything, and you're never going to become, a better entrepreneur or a better dentist.
I mean, you said that perfectly. Because I think
Thanks,
that
Jeremy.
Entrepreneurs struggle with this. Like, just because 30% of your workforce left doesn't mean that you don't continue to try to develop the rest of your team while you're replacing that 30%, right?
Exactly. And if you have the knowledge, at the end of the day, yeah, it might not be exactly how the coaches do it, but you still have the knowledge, and then you just got to implement. And what I recommend is if you start losing key individuals, you lose your lead dental assistant, you have the knowledge, you step into that role and you become a dentist / lead dental assistant trainer. And then you train that individual to get to the level of what you need to do. But it all goes back to always constantly evaluating yourself and your business and figuring out what we were talking about a couple weeks ago, which is the blind spots. Yep. You start looking at the blind spots and you start figuring it out. And employees take advantage of you because they know that you're involved in the dental chair, and they know that you can't be looking at everything. And then the blind spots get bigger and bigger and bigger. And by the time you know it, you're exhausted. You let things slide over and over and over again. But guess what? It's going to come and bite you right in the ass again. You're going to get it. You're going to lose money. You're going to lose other individuals that are really committed to you. And you're going to pay a price. You're going to pay a big price.
Yeah, and I love how you said that too, because I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs they put everybody in the same bucket. Like, if 2 or 3 people leave, everybody's leaving. The world's
yes, that is so
end.
true.
You know what I mean?
That is so true.
It's just 2 or 3 people, folks. Things are going to move on. Things are going to move forward. You're still going to be successful. Fill in the blank. And I think that's important that everybody really reflects on what you had just said, because
thanks, Jeremy.
That's necessary.
Yeah, you cannot let your vision, whether it's professionally or personally, be deterred by circumstances in life. We are struck with, major events that can impact us, but it shouldn't. Yeah, there can be a moment of sadness, of grief, of fear, of anxiety. But at the end of the day, you got to figure out how to overcome that. And if you're constantly working on yourself, you will be able to overcome those obstacles.
And I think that using this human capital as an example in training and spending this money to do improvement and development for these guys, some entrepreneurs would believe that if 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people leave, that's a failure. That's not a failure. Like, those guys were never bought in originally to your vision.
Yeah, and they're toxic in your organization.
Exactly correct. If they don't see the value in you spending money on that, not even the spending money part, if they don't see the value in the knowledge that they're going to get from that training, shame on them.
Exactly. And then what's going to end up happening is if you leave them within your organization or within your business, your A employee is going to become a B employee, and then eventually possibly a C employee, and your C employee is going to become an F employee. And then you got to restructure anything anyways, because it's like cancer, it spreads, and the worst thing you can do in your company is ignore a cancer or somebody as being toxic or talking ill about the owner or about the operators or about the management team, because then you're going to really self-destruct your own business.
Well, I think that let's use this training as an example on this. You go through every single practice and you say, okay, so what did you think about that training? Oh yeah, we thought it was great. And then all of a sudden,
was it really?
Exactly. they're telling their next door neighbor that they're sending the front desk by. That was terrible. I mean, that was awful. I mean, what a waste of my time. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, what the heck? And I think the challenge that entrepreneurs have, again, going back to this, is that curveball is inevitable. Just get back up and continue the development of your team, because that is necessary, because you don't have time, right?
You don't have time.
You need to do that stuff.
You got to build your team up, and you might have to do some shifts in the personnel, and maybe have some people wear different hats, because you're going to be wearing different hats as well. I mean, you might lose your marketing director, and now you might have to go back into being in charge of marketing again.
Yeah, and I think I love how you say that, and I think that's one of the investments that entrepreneurs miss out sometimes, is the investment in the team. We talked about this at our board meeting yesterday. Like, we can provide all these great tools to all these guys.
Yes.
And we can give them all these opportunities to make their jobs easier, but you still need to develop them as individuals, because they need the skill set to be able to jump in and use those tools. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like what I was saying yesterday in our board's meeting. You can give artificial intelligence to an employee, right? Or, some type of different IT software for them to use to improve their workflow or their daily routines. But at the end of the day, if they don't understand the software, and if you're not holding them accountable, they're gonna stop doing it. They're gonna stop using it, because some people do a training. They're like, yeah, I get it. I understand completely, but do they really get it?
Yeah.
And then we have this amazing software called Dental Intel. I've been working with Dental Intel since 2017, 2018. And it's it's a great software. It's a great program. But it takes, human capacity, and human errors can affect it, and the reports might not be ideal, and some people just give up on it, but it's an amazing software. But if you don't understand it, you might quit on it. Just like, we tend to give up on anything that is hard. Why do you think dental school or medical school or law school is 7 or 8 years, and you have all these examples? Why do you think that is?
They purposely make it hard.
But why?
To screen out the guys and the gals.
Exactly. They want to get rid of the garbage. They want to get rid of the bullshitters that are just doing it because of either financials, or they're doing it because they just want to be an attorney or a doctor. But in all reality is because they want to make sure they're basically getting you ready for what's to come. Because being a doctor, or, an attorney, a nurse, a lawyer is not easy. And you're going to have to face major battles throughout your life being in those professional realms, and you have major responsibility, and you have to be majorly disciplined.
Yeah, no, it's true. And, it's like you said, they do it on purpose, and that's all part of it. And I think that's, and then they require CEs, right? They require you to continue your education.
To stay disciplined, because if you're not constantly learning and evolving, then you're going to start neglecting yourself and how you treat your patients or your employees or your team.
Yep. It's crazy. But it's relevant, because you don't want, you don't want any Tom, Dick, and Harry, representing you in a courtroom, right? No, you don't want them pulling your tooth or fixing your arm or fill in the blank.
Exactly. So it's very important. But yeah, my final message is, like, if you're going through tough times, which we all go through them, we got to understand some in different realms, and we're experiencing grief and sadness and anger and anxiety and fear and apathy. You got to remember that if you're not surviving and you're not moving yourself up and lifting yourself, whether that is working out, reading, a support group, or whatnot, in order to get there, you're going to succumb into death. You're going to go into, instead of surviving, you're going to go into patterns of sickness and mental health and problems that you're not going to be able to recover from. So you got to be very careful that situations in life don't deter you from your vision, because that's how depression takes in and major mental health.
Yep. I couldn't have said that better myself.
All right, my man. Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the show. Check us out at Dr. Alex A. Plains, live stream with Dr. Alex A. Plains. Thank you.